I drowned myself so a hot life gourd would hold me. I was 10 years old when I first truly understood the power of attraction and the dangerous lengths one might go to pursue it. It was a sun-drenched day at the beach, the kind that usually fills childhood memories with joy and innocence. Instead, it became a pivotal moment that would shape my understanding of desire, risk, and the fragility of life. The object of my infatuation was a lifeguard, probably around 17, with sun-kissed skin and an aura of responsibility that seemed impossibly mature to my young eyes. I'd never felt such a strong pull towards another person before, let alone another male. It was confusing, exhilarating, and ultimately nearly fatal. I tried to engage him in conversation, but his focus remained on his vital job. Still, in the brief exchanges we shared, I caught glimpses of warmth and kindness. He mentioned liking anime, a shared interest that, in my mind, forged an unbreakable connection between us. At 10, I was no stranger to innocent flirtation with girls my age. It came easily, almost boring in its simplicity. But this was different. The lifeguard felt untouchable, which only intensified my desire to connect with him. In a moment of what I can only describe as temporary insanity, I formulated a plan. I would pretend to drown, ensuring that he would be the one to save me, to hold me in his strong arms. It seemed foolproof in my childish logic. What followed was far from the romantic rescue I had envisioned. I deliberately inhaled water, the pain immediate and intense. Salt burned my eyes and lungs. Panic set in quickly, real and visceral. My body forgot how to swim as I flailed in genuine distress. The rescue, when it came, wasn't from my intended hero. A teenage girl, around 16, pulled me from the water. I learned later that she'd been the only one to notice my struggle. While my friend later teased me about being lucky to receive CPR from an attractive girl, I felt only bitter disappointment and lingering pain. The aftermath was a blur of coughing up seawater and the sickening realization of how close I'd come to real tragedy. Guilt began to creep in, not for my actions, but for potentially diverting attention from someone who might have genuinely needed help. I swore my friend to secrecy, too ashamed and scared to face the consequences of my reckless behavior. Looking back, I'm acutely aware of how carefully I orchestrated this near disaster, taking advantage of momentary lapses in adult supervision. Years have passed, but the memory of that day remains vivid. The physical sensation of drowning, the burn, the panic, the helplessness is seared into my mind. It's a visceral reminder of how quickly things can go wrong, how fragile the human body can be. This experience shaped my understanding of attraction and the lengths people might go to for attention. It was an early, harsh lesson in the potential consequences of our actions, especially when driven by intense emotions we don't fully understand. As an adult, I find myself grappling with the implications of that day. How do we address the intense feelings of pre-adolescence in a healthy way? How can we create spaces where young people feel safe, exploring their identities and attractions, without resorting to dangerous behavior? I think about that lifeguard sometimes, wondering if he ever knew how close he came to being involved in a tragedy. I hope he continued his work, saving lives and being a positive presence for other kids who might have been struggling with confusing feelings. To the teenage girl who saved me, I never properly thanked you. Your quick action and kindness quite literally saved my life. I hope you know the impact you had that day. To anyone reading this who might recognize themselves in my younger self, your feelings are valid, but your safety is paramount. There are healthier ways to explore attraction and identity. Reach out to trusted adults or resources designed to support LGBTQ+ youth. This experience left me with a profound respect for water safety and the vital work of lifeguards and first responders. It also sparked a lifelong interest in psychology, particularly in understanding the complex emotions and decision-making processes of young people. As I navigate adult relationships, I carry with me the knowledge of how powerful and potentially destructive unchecked desire can be. It's a reminder to approach connections with honesty, communication, and respect for others and for myself. In sharing this story, I hope to spark conversations about the intensity of childhood emotions, the importance of comprehensive sex education that includes discussions of diverse attractions, and the need for vigilant water safety. Perhaps by bringing these topics into the open, we can prevent other children from finding themselves in similarly dangerous situations. The beach, for me, will always carry the echo of that day. The exhilaration of first attraction mingled with the terror of near drowning. It's a complex cocktail of emotions that serves as a reminder of how quickly life can change and how the choices we make, even as children, can have long-lasting impacts. To that 10-year-old version of myself, and to all the confused, longing children out there, you are seen, your feelings are real and valid. But remember, your life is precious. No crush, no desire for attention, no momentary impulse is worth risking it all. There are safer ways to explore, to connect, to be held. You just need to give yourself time to find them. As I've grown older, this incident has become a touchstone for self-reflection and personal growth. It's led me to explore the complexities of human sexuality and the ways in which the societal norms and expectations shape our understanding of ourselves from a young age. I've come to realize that my actions that day were not just about attraction to the lifeguard, but also about a deeper longing for connection, understanding, and acceptance. Growing up in a world that often struggles to acknowledge the spectrum of human sexuality, especially in children, I lacked the vocabulary and support to process my feelings in a healthy way. This experience has driven me to become an advocate for comprehensive, age-appropriate sex education that includes discussions of LGBTQ+ identities and experiences. I believe that if I had access to such resources as a child, I might have found healthier ways to explore my feelings and identity. The incident also sparked a lifelong fascination with psychology and human behavior. I've spent years studying the ways in which early experiences shape our adult selves, and how trauma, even self-inflicted trauma, can echo through our lives in unexpected ways. In my professional life, I've channeled this interest into work with LGBTQ+ youth organizations, providing the kind of support and understanding I wish I had access to as a child. It's deeply rewarding to help young people navigate the often turbulent waters of self-discovery without resorting to the kind of dangerous behavior I engaged in. I've also become involved in water safety initiatives, sharing my story as a cautionary tale about the very real dangers of water. It's a bittersweet feeling to know that my mistake might help prevent similar incidents in the future. Relationships remain a complex area of my life. The intensity of that first attraction, coupled with the trauma of the near drowning, left an indelible mark on how I approach intimacy and connection. I've had to work hard to untangle feelings of desire from fears of vulnerability and loss of control. Therapy has been an invaluable tool in this journey. Through years of work with compassionate professionals, I've come to understand the root of my actions that day and the ways in which they've influenced my life path. It's been a process of forgiveness, not just of my younger self, but of a society that often leaves children ill-equipped to handle the complexities of their emotional and sexual development. As I approach middle age, I find myself reflecting more and more on the ripple effects of that single day. How different might my life have been if I hadn't taken that reckless action? Would I still have come to understand and accept my sexuality in the same way? Would I have found my calling in supporting LGBTQ+ youth and promoting water safety? There's a part of me that will always be that confused, longing 10-year-old, willing to risk everything for a moment of connection. But there's also the part of me that was forged in the aftermath, resilient, introspective, and dedicated to creating a world where no child feels so lost and alone that they'd risk their life for attention and affection. To the lifeguard who unknowingly set this all in motion, I hope you've lived a good life, continuing to be the kind of person who inspires admiration and respect. Your dedication to your job that day, your focus on keeping everyone safe, likely saved me from an even worse fate. To my friend who kept my secret, I'm sorry for the burden I placed on you. No child should have to carry the weight of such a potentially tragic secret. I hope you found peace and that this experience didn't negatively impact your own journey through life. To anyone who's ever felt so desperate for connection that they considered putting themselves in harm's way, you are not alone. Your feelings are valid, but your life is precious. There are people and resources out there ready to support you, to help you understand and accept yourself. Reach out, stay safe. Your story is still unfolding, and it's worth being here to live it. As I continue to navigate life, love, and self acceptance, I carry with me the lessons learned from that day at the beach. It's a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, the complexity of human sexuality, and the incredible capacity we have for growth and change. Hit that subscribe button and get ready for more wild tales like this one. Trust me, you don't want to miss out.